As we all know, the county has had tragedies related to domestic violence in the past year, tragedies that spurred this legislature and our Citizens Advisory Committee to action, and that action was this report. In October of 2010, it was delivered to the legislature from the Citizens Advisory Committee, which is a legislatively created committee that we utilize to advise the legislature on issues as it concerns domestic violence. And while I don't need to go into all the details of the report because most of us know what they are, one of the items that has taken a considerable amount of attention from the committee is the global positioning system concept for domestic violence victims and their batterers. We know in this county, and we should also know in this region, in this state, in this country, we cannot be as successful in any endeavor unless we collaborate. And collaboration is the key to what we do, and quite frankly, I think we do a pretty good job of it here in Dutchess County. One of the areas that we realized as a legislature and as a group of concerned people both in and out of the legislature is there are certain things we cannot do here in Dutchess County ourselves to implement changes, to get enhancements in system response. One of those areas was the assistance of our state delegation. Senator Steve Saland, who I don't have to say to you, because most of you know that he has been a leader in public safety initiatives all over the board, was instrumental in trying to be helpful in many of these initiatives that required state action. And the senator took this report and has read it, and we've spoken about it numerous times with both himself and his staff. And the senator said, well, we need to talk about this GPS, and how can we maybe bring something to our county that will effectively, maybe, if it works out really well, be a model for services throughout the state and throughout this country. The senator and his staff, in conjunction with the advisory committee and Bill Grady and Marge Smith, Leah Feldman from the Special Victims Bureau and the Universal Response to Domestic Violence, identified Elmotech. It's a corporation that supplies these types of systems in a variety of different ways as a potential vendor, someone who might be willing to share their knowledge and technology with us. And through the senator's staff and himself and our committee, we have been able to get Elmotech to actually advance technology here to this county. And in short, what we are going to try and accomplish over the next several months is to test a program here in the county where, for the very first time in this country, a GPS system, both utilizing technology for the batterer and the victim, will be tested throughout the county, and the undersheriff will talk about that in a minute, how we're going to go about doing that. But they have, Elmotech has agreed to supply units for Dutchess County for a test program, which is currently not going on anywhere else in this country. Actually, there are some places in Europe that actually are utilizing this current technology. And we are very excited about that. We are very hopeful that as we go through the testing phase, this is something that can be implemented at some point in time. If everything works out correctly, that we will be able to utilize in the near future, actually with offenders and with victims, to enhance the security of the victim. And I want to just state that there has been a lot of discussion about GPS technology, positive discussion and discussion that has been more or less that we needed to do this yesterday. And it could have been done yesterday or last week, and that's not the case. As I'm saying this morning, this current type of technology and the system approach that it utilizes is not being done anywhere. And we cannot, in this county, and we should not do this anywhere, throw things into the mix that aren't tested and aren't fully realize their capabilities, because when we talk about victims, we cannot ever do anything to give a victim a false sense of security that because some item is out there, we're going to get it for you and it's going to make you safe. Victim safety is a community response, it's a collaboration, it's all the things that we talk about here all the time. And without us working together, which we do quite effectively, we're not going to be able to try to realize these types of measures if we don't do it in a measured and deliberate and very diligent way. So if this does become effective and it does become something we want to implement, we will have everything worked out prior. And that is the key to any successful program, from buying a car to implementing new computer technology. We want to make sure everything is done methodically and correctly to see what its limitations are, because I'm sure there is. So at this point, that's what we wanted to just say. Well, we'll elaborate a little bit on it in a couple minutes with the other speakers, but we have broken some pretty new ground here, and I'm very proud of all my colleagues that have worked on this so diligently since October.